So it's pretty simple. Don't stay angry. The Bible, it always cautions us against this because as humans we know sin is inevitable. The Bible tells us not to sin, but we're gonna sin. But what we should not do is dwell in that sin. We're not supposed to stay angry. We're not supposed to look for reasons to be angry. And so forgiveness is to give up is giving up resentment against someone else. And that's basically it. Is to let go of whatever situation you have with that person, whatever fight you have with that person, to forgive them and to move on. And forgiveness, the reason I'm preaching about both of them is because these two go hand in hand. One is the problem, the other is the solution. Unforgiveness is the deliberate and willful refusal to give up one's resentment. So it's basically when you refuse to forgive someone, either because you think that you are right, or because maybe they've done it before, that you feel like to forgive them, to let them go off without any repayment, that you're gonna be wronging yourself. That's what unforgiveness is, and that is also very dangerous. So first let's talk about anger. So our goal with anger is that we want to get rid of it. We don't want to dwell in our anger. We don't want to stay angry, because staying angry does not hurt anyone else but ourselves. If you're angry all the time, what are you going to enjoy? You can't enjoy life. You can't enjoy even the simple things. Sometimes I go to school and I'm angry, and it ruins the whole day. Sometimes you go to a good class, you're standing there, oh man, damn it. It's my show last night. I got to do this math. I don't like this class. So I'm saying stuff to the teacher. Next thing you know, you're in trouble, and then you have to go home. And you know, we have like Jerry Pratchett. You go home and you're taking trouble with the teacher. You're getting grades. And now you're going to be angry at yourself. So the first step to dealing with anger is to acknowledge that you have been totally forgiven. You need to realize that you yourself were in the other person's position, that at some point you wronged someone and you need to be forgiven. And if that person had refused to forgive you, where would you be? And not even a person, just with God himself. Every day we do stuff to anger God. Every day we sin against him. Yet, if he was to hold us accountable for everything, where would we be now? Second step is to confess your anger to the Lord. Forgiveness is not about pretending that you're not angry, because I don't know who you think you're fooling. If you pretend you're not angry, you're not getting anything done. Forgiveness is to realize that you're angry, you confess that you're angry, you confess why you're angry. And this leads into the next step. Ask God to forgive you. Sometimes you have to admit that you're angry, and you ask God to forgive you, to help mediate it for you, because sometimes you realize that you were in the wrong, even if it wasn't completely your fault, you had some part of it. So, next, we go into obstacles to forgiveness. Number one, lack of desire. You just don't want to forgive the person. Maybe you feel like the longer that you stay angry at them, the more chances you have to get even or whatever. It's not helping you. And let's go into Matthew chapter 18, verse 22. Matthew 18:22.
Jesus said unto him, I say not unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
I brought this up just to let you know that this first obstacle, this in itself is a sin. Because in doing this, you're going against the Bible. The Bible says that you should forgive your brother 70 times, 7 times. And we know that in the Bible, when they say your brother, they mean anyone, any of your neighbors, anyone who wrongs you. and you should forgive them 70 times, 7 times. And I don't know anyone who has wronged me 70 times, 7 times. So I don't know why there should be a reason for you to stop forgiving them. Because if you want to think of it literally, the Bible gives you a limit, 70 times 7. If someone wrongs you 70 times, 7 times, I don't know why you're still hanging out with that person. The second obstacle to forgiveness is rehearsing what happened. And this is something I'm very guilty of, because this is something that happens like every other week. Isla will have to make dinner, and it'll be, what are we making? Oh, rice, noodles, whatever. I'll come home. Oh, Samson, I'm sorry, I didn't make enough for you. Okay, go make some. Oh, no, you have to do that yourself. I'm teasing. Okay, I will let it go. Okay, next week, you still, no, let me make it. I'll do it myself. It's okay, I'll make the rice that you like. It's okay. Actually, for the entire family, that's 4 cups. I'll put 3. My parents are not home, they're working. I'll put 3. I will serve myself. That's half the pot gone. I will serve Alba and Kiki. That's the rest. This one comes out. Where's my food? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man, there's no more rice. Oh, but it's okay. We still have noodles. We can make that. And this is an obstacle because if you keep dwelling on it, this is just prolonging it, because now you've done something wrong to the person's done something wrong to you. You both need to forgive each other, but each one is looking at the other, oh, you did something, I have to get even. And it just keeps going on and on. And this next one was fear. Sometimes you don't want to forgive someone because you're afraid that if you forgive them, it makes it look like they're right, or makes you look like you're weak or soft. Well, what does that have to do with you? If people think that about you, that's not your problem. If you forgive them, you are able to move on. And like I said at the beginning, forgiveness is an attribute of the strong. So this fear that you're looking weak, it's irrelevant. It doesn't apply. Next one is negative advice. Sometimes the thing standing in the way of forgiveness is someone else telling you what to do. Sometimes we go to a friend, oh man, this guy did something to me. He's like, what? I have friends like, what? He did what? Where does he live? We're gonna get him, we're gonna get his mama, we're gonna get his cousin. Does he have a dog? We're gonna get him too. Where's his car? I have key, where's his car? Then we have friends who's always trying to help you plot revenge. Sometimes you won't even care about it, they'll get you hyped up. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it, man. We got this. I got the man, I know where he parks. Let's go. And sometimes you think it's a good idea, then you do it to you. I don't even think that was legal. What are we doing? The next one is relying on emotions. Don't make the mistake of waiting until you feel like you need to forgive them, because we don't know, we are not able to testify to what's going to happen tomorrow. If we keep thinking, okay, I always have tomorrow to forgive them, I can always forgive them tomorrow. You don't want anything to happen to that person, and the last interaction between you two is one of hate, one of anger, that they're both angry at each other. There are a lot of people who lose family members, and the last words they will say to each other is like, I hate you, or something like that. You always see it in the movies, and it's not just in the movies, it happens in real life. People who lose a family member or a friend, and the last interaction will be yelling words at each other, or yelling curses at each other. Okay, so some important reminders, I'm ending the sermon out of some important reminders are: 1, as a believer, we have a responsibility to forgive others. We have to take the initiative in dealing with forgiveness. So we have to be the first ones to forgive. We can't wait for the other person. As Christians, it's our duty to forgive and to teach others to forgive, because through our actions, we're teaching those around us. If our parents refuse to forgive, the children are going to grow up the same way. And when the parents try to correct them, the children will turn their own mistakes back on them. Forgiveness will not always be easy or quick, but you can't allow it to take root in your life and cause bitterness, because you're just hurting yourself. It's detrimental to your own health and your own wellness. If you keep worrying about this thing, sometimes it will just mess you up. sometimes you keep thinking about it, and you be losing yourself. Like what happened with Saul and David. David did nothing wrong. David actually did him a favor, but because David he grew too popular, Saul feels offended, Saul feels angry, and see how that led to his downfall. He almost killed his own son in order to just to get back at David. Forgiveness does not always have to include going to the other person. So this, you don't, just forgiving someone does not have to be something you do face to face. You can just do it in yourself that I'm just not going to worry about this person anymore. I forgive them for what they did. I forgive them that next time I meet them, I'm not going to meet them on bad terms. I'm not going to be thinking about the past. I will forgive them and I will move on. I'll be able to go on my life and they'll go on with theirs. And that it's good because the same, you want others to do the same to you. How to know you're forgiven. The first one is that the harsh emotions that you've had towards this person, any enmity you've had towards them, it'll dissipate, it'll be gone. If you forgive someone and you're still thinking, how can I get back at this person? You haven't forgiven them, I don't know who you're fooling. If you forgive someone and every time you see them drive by in their Lexus, you're thinking, I'm gonna slash his tires. That's not forgiveness. You'll be able to accept others without feeling bitter. When you meet them in the future, there will be no enmity. You do them favors, but you will not be thinking that I shouldn't do something for this person because of what they did to me in the past. And you know how the knowledge that you gain through this experience, through forgiveness, and through this conflict with this person, you'll be able to apply it to the future. Maybe you can give advice to someone else that will get them out of this situation. Or you come across something similar and you'll be able to skip all the stress in between. Just know that forgiving them is the easiest way out. In conclusion, when the Holy Spirit reminds you to forgive people, I pray that you don't ignore His voice.
Amen.
It is my prayer that you bravely and wisely choose to deal with these feelings, and that you will allow God to set you free because you never regret it.
Amen.
Allow yourself to forgive others, and you allow God to forgive you.
Amen.
I will close with this quote. To be a Christian is to forgive. To be a Christian is to forgive the inexcusable, because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. I will see us close. This is the end of my sermon. Thank you.